Look, we need to talk about a massive structural shift happening right now in the global services sector. We're seeing a completely new AI reality taking hold, starting with giant players like Amazon. It is fundamentally altering how work gets done and, this is absolutely crucial, it's hitting support and coordination roles first. It's a fascinating shift, sure, but for a lot of people, it's incredibly intimidating. So, to figure out how to actually navigate this, we first need to look clearly at what is happening on the ground today.
3 job titles, 1 AI system, 0 coffee breaks. If you work in customer service, back office support, or HR operations at a large company, especially within India's massive services sector, what we're looking at here isn't some dystopian sci-fi warning for the distant future. It's already running. Amazon has quietly rolled out a brand new class of AI agents right inside its customer service infrastructure, and it is reshaping the workforce as we speak.
Now, the big distinction here is something we just aren't used to yet. We all know traditional chatbots, right? A basic support bot answers a single question, and then it just stops. It waits for you to prompt it again. But this new system does something else entirely. We've moved from reactive chatbots to proactive AI agents. These agents actually execute continuous end-to-end actions without needing a human to hold their hand at every step. They don't just talk, they actually do the work.
Let's break down how this looks in a real workflow. The AI agent pulls a customer's order history, then it automatically calculates the refund amount, and finally, it goes ahead and initiates the return, all in one single continuous sweep. Now, traditionally, those are 3 totally separate tasks requiring 3 different skill sets. In most large organizations, that's literally 3 different people passing the baton. But now, it's just one system from start to finish.
And honestly, Amazon has been incredibly explicit about why they're doing this. An internal memo from their head of people experience laid out the mandate perfectly: to reduce layers, increase ownership, and remove bureaucracy. So, what does that actually mean when we strip away the corporate jargon? It means roles that exist basically to coordinate between departments. Roles where your main job is passing information from one desk to another. Those are the very first ones being redesigned around this new AI.
Let's bring this reality a little closer to home. Bengaluru, Chennai, Hyderabad. These cities are the absolute engine room. They're where Amazon runs a massive share of its customer service, HR service centers, and corporate support, not just for India, but for their entire global operation. So, when a shift this monumental happens at Amazon, this is ground zero.
If we zoom in on Hyderabad specifically, it's long been the hub for Amazon's HR services teams. We're talking about the folks handling employee onboarding, payroll support, the whole employee resource center operation. Industry analysts have looked closely at where Amazon's recent restructuring hit the hardest, and the pattern? It's undeniable. It wasn't the engineering teams, it wasn't AI research. It squarely targeted these specific support and process roles. Let's get very specific here, because vague panic doesn't help anyone. Clarity is how we prepare. These are the 3 exact role types most exposed right now. Customer service representatives, the folks handling order queries, returns and refunds processors, who used to verify the escalations, and HR service associates, fielding those routine employee questions. Individually, each of these has been a distinct, reliable career path in India's services industry for well over a decade.
The whole shift really comes down to coordination. In the past, as we saw, you needed 3 separate roles just to move a process along. Present day? You have one AI system doing the heavy lifting and absorbing the bulk of that coordination work. The company just doesn't need 3 people for that anymore. It needs one AI agent and a much smaller specialized human team left behind to handle the things the AI simply can't do: the judgment calls, the complex escalations, and of course the angry customer who just really needs to yell at a real human.
Now, if you have watched till this point, I want to speak to you not as a host, but as someone who has actually lived through what I am describing. Let's be very honest with each other for a moment. You did not click on this explainer because you wanted information. You clicked because somewhere, quietly, a small voice inside you asked, "Is this me? Is this my job he is talking about?" I understand that feeling. I have felt it myself. 25 years ago, when I started my career in data center operations, I watched an entire function vanish. Not overnight, slowly, one outsourcing decision at a time, one restructuring at a time. And I remember exactly what it felt like to sit in that meeting room and hear a word like efficiency and know deep down that it meant fewer people like me. So when I make these explainers, I'm not trying to frighten you for views. I am trying to give you the 5-10 years of head start that I wish someone had given me. Because the pattern repeats every single time.
The job doesn't disappear immediately. The headcount required to do it does. The real risk isn't, will AI take my job tomorrow morning? The real risk is this. When your company realizes it suddenly needs 10 fewer people to do what 15 people used to do, will you be one of the 10 who survive the restructuring?
See, the future belongs to the people who shift from doing the task to supervising the AI. The survivors are the ones who learn how to configure the system, audit its work, catch the bizarre mistakes the AI inevitably makes, and handle the deeply nuanced parts of the job that still desperately need a human in the room. Making that shift is literally the single most valuable career move available to you today.
Today, I do this work professionally. My name is Srikanchan Bhowmik. I implement AI systems and I train the teams working alongside them for companies you will recognize immediately. Schneider Electric, Accenture, Wipro, Dell, Infosys, Reliance. I am not here to sell you a course. I do not even want you to think of this as a course. I want you to think of it as a conversation with someone who has already seen this pattern play out more than once.
So here is what I am asking you to do. Not tomorrow, this week. Sit down quietly with a cup of chai, if you like, and write down every single task in your job. Every one. Then ask yourself honestly, not defensively, could an AI system do this today, end to end? If the answer is yes for even half your list, please do not panic. That is not the end of your story. That is simply your starting point. It's your roadmap for what to stop doing manually and start managing instead.
And if you are a leader watching this and thinking about your team, your department, your people who trust you, I would ask you to think about them the way I think about my own clients. Not as headcount to be reduced, as people who deserve a real plan and real training before the change arrives at their desk. Let me tell you, companies that blindly implement AI agents without actually reskilling their teams, they just end up with massively high automation costs, horribly low team morale, and practically zero internal capability to run what they just bought.
If any of this is speaking to you, genuinely, not out of politeness, write to me. My email is kanchankumar333@gmail.com. I work directly in that gap between implementing the AI and training the actual human workforce. Whether you're an individual trying to figure out your own pivot or a leader trying to save your department's capabilities, reach out.
Tell me honestly, 2 things in your email. What is the function you are worried about? And roughly, how many people sit in that team today? That is all I need. From there, I will tell you truthfully, is this something I can help you with, or do you need a different kind of help altogether? Either way, I will tell you straight. That is a promise.
And for everyone else watching this explainer right now, if you think your current role is one of those 3 exposed coordination roles we talked about earlier, go ahead and comment the word exposed below. I actually read every single one of those comments, and I'll reply with what I would personally do in your specific situation to start making that leap from task doer to AI supervisor.
Because, at the end of the day, this is not about AI versus humans. The jobs aren't disappearing completely overnight, but the number of people needed to do them is shrinking fast. So I'll leave you with this. It is about which humans learn to work with AI before the decision is made without them. Will you be the one running the system or the one it replaced? Think on that. Take some action this week, and I will see you in the next explainer.